Hey everyone, we're back for another workout of the day. Today is an AMRAP. It's as many rounds as possible in 22 minutes. It is called Valor. It is 250-meter row, 12 V-ups, 12 goblet squats, and 20 med ball shoulder taps. So we're going to go through all of those movements and the modifications, and then you can get started. And happy Memorial Day, and thank you to all of our veterans out there. Okay, so our first movement is going to be our 250-meter row. So for this, you're going to obviously need an erg. So we're going to go over the proper movement, and then if you don't have an erg, then we can show you some modifications. So first off, you're going to want to make sure that you have your feet set to the right length here, so that we want the ball of your foot to be there's like a little pad here. That's where the ball of your foot should be. So we don't want to be like too through so that our toes are sticking up out of the feet straps here. Depending on the erg, this will come to my middle of my foot. But you know, it depends on your erg and where the straps are. So anyway, we want to go ahead, put our feet in. We want to strap those down nice and tight. The big thing I see with rowing is that people try to rush it. So this is supposed to be as though you are on a cruise ship. I don't know if anybody has rowed crew or seen crew in the Olympics. It's those really long, thin boats with a bunch of people. It could be teams of 4, 2, or 8. So when we start out, we want to go ahead and do a quarter pull, come in, do a half pull, and then go ahead and do the full pull. That just gets our rowing machine going so that you're not trying to really strain that first pull. You would do that in the water as well. So the big thing though is that I see people don't come up far enough and then they go too far back and then they're rushing the recovery. So where you're gonna really strive in this and where you're gonna reach that 250 row quick is your leg drive. So we want the stroke to be nice and long. So we come in as far as we can. We want to be almost touching the handle to the machine there. And then when we come back, we're gonna really drive those feet. We're just holding the handle, and as we push back, we're gonna finish with the rope back here, and it should touch to about if you're a girl, the bottom of your sports bra here. What we don't want to do is up too far, down too low, or leaning back. I see a lot of people lean back. We shouldn't be doing that. It should be a slight lean, if any. And then when we come in, we want a nice slow recovery and then drive back. So we don't want the chain to be bouncing back and forth. So if you're seeing the chain bouncing back and forth as you come in, it means you're rushing that in too much. So again, go back to the boat. If you rush too fast in, the boat will actually jerk. So then it takes away from that nice, smooth, fast pace. It slows you down. So we don't want to do that. And it's kind of like the same thing here. So we want a nice, real strong pull and then slow, and then pull back. So this is what it should look like. So we're going to start with that quarter pull, that half pull, and then that full pull, and slow back and push real hard and slow push real hard. So that's what the row should look like. Now, a few things we can do if we don't have a rowing machine. We can take our band and we can kind of bend our knees a little bit and pull back and pull back and pull back. And you can do this seated as well, like on a bench if you can't get down on the floor. Again, you're going to try to keep nice and straight, row back, row back, or you can just do some rows with weight or with the band. So nice and straight. You're going to bring those hips back, your shoulders back, your back straight, and just pull up. Same thing. You can do it with a dumbbell here on the bench and just come up to 90 degrees, keeping that back straight and trying not to jerk or twist. When you do that, everything should stay still except for that arm. Okay, so that's the row. You can also replace that with a 250-meter run. You can replace it with some jump ropes. You can do 100 jump ropes or 50 jump ropes, depending on where you're at. Or you can do, 100 or ball toe taps. And again, nice and fast. No 1, 2. We want a nice pace going through there. Okay. Next movement is a V-up. Got to add those abs in there. So we want to lift our hands and our feet up at the same time. So we're coming up in this V position, really squeezing those abs, trying to get up. We want our whole back to come off that ground. So if you're feeling like this, right, you're getting some abs in there, but you're just not hitting where we want. So modification just to the knees, right? But you see my back is off the ground. You can also start up here and you can do some leg drives and lean back as you push out as well. Okay, next movement is our goblet squat. So let's just go over the squat real quick. We want to be nice and up straight, right? We want our feet to be flat on the ground the whole time. So if you find yourself rolling up on those toes, readjust yourself, right? So we want our feet to be about hip width, maybe slightly wider apart. Our toes are going to be slightly pointed outwards. This is going to allow our knees to follow our toes in that outward position. If we are straightforward, which I see people do all the time, unless you're super flexible, you are going to roll onto those toes because your knees are going to go forward and your body is going to shift back to compensate for that. So if we have our toes pointed out, we're able to come in a nice straight line as we come down, which is what we need and want when we add weight in there. It also saves our knees and our back from injury. So, and this allows our whole body to support our whole body. So as we come down, we're staying nice and straight. Our knees are coming out. We want to come about parallel to the ground. So this part of my leg is parallel to the ground. Or if you can get lower, get lower. If you find yourself coming down and your knees are coming out in the right way, but you find yourself kind of still rolling to those toes, you might have some mobility issues in those ankles. So, or hips or knees. So just be aware of that. Check yourself. You can always look in a mirror or record yourself and see where the problem is if you cannot feel it. But if it's a mobility problem, I want you to come down as far as you can without rolling on your toes. So if you're coming down here and you feel like, oh, this is all I can go, come on, guys. I know you can do better than that. Like if it's a slight toe roll because of mobility and you can get down to here or here, like go for it. So with the goblet squat, you're going to take your dumbbell, you're going to hold it in two hands, you're going to stay upright, come down into that squat, up and down. Now, if you don't have a weight, you can also take a band and just do a front squat. So you're going to hold the band up to your shoulders and then you're going to come down and up and down and up. And the same thing, same good form. Don't let the band pull you around. So if mobility is also an issue, or you have some weak knees or hips, you can use a bench. But what we want to make sure when we use the bench, our feet are always on the ground. Now you're probably thinking, okay, that's fine, that's easy. Well, no. If you come down, people have the habit of getting loose in a seated position, right? Like, so just think about when you get in a chair, you don't come down and you're not like sitting all nice and proper. I mean, if you are, awesome for you, but I know for me, as soon as I sit down, my posture goes out the window. So make sure you're maintaining that good posture. Your feet are flat on the ground and you're using just your legs to get up. So if you find yourself getting loose or rolling, so if your heels come off the ground or your toes come off the ground, your body is going to be rolling into that squat. So we don't want that. We want straight down, straight up, only using our legs. Do not push on your legs. That's going to make yourself come this way. So now my back's all out of whack. Now I'm putting extra pressure on my hips and knees, trying to help myself up. So don't do that. If anything, you can have your hands, come down on the bench just to help with support, but really, really try just to stand up and down. You can also use a weight if you feel up to it. But again, we want to stay nice and straight and upward. Okay, so today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do our shoulder taps, but on a med ball. This adds just a little bit more stability that you need to have when you're doing the shoulder taps. And you really need to be conscious of squeezing your abs, your butt, and your glutes, everything, hamstrings, everything needs to be nice and tight. So we want to be in a nice plank position with two hands on the ball, right? But we don't want our butt to be sticking up and we don't want to be sagging down. We want to be tight. Our feet are going to be slightly apart and we're going to tap and switch. And we don't want to be moving. We don't want to be falling all over the place. We want to make sure that one hand replaces the other as we come down on the ball. So it really needs to be in the middle of the ball. So tap, not moving the rest of my body. And tapping back and forth. So if you're not ready for the ball, you can just go ahead and do it on the ground and just tap. And again, squeezing everything so that nothing is moving other than your arms. And it should be a slow, precise movement. You're not rushing through it. That's going to make you move and weak and crazy. We want everything focused on squeezing everything. You can also do it on a bench. Again, tap, tap, tap. So you're going to go through all of those movements for 22 minutes. Just keep going through those rounds. Mark down your time. Well, your time is 22 minutes. So your movements and your weights, and revisit the workout. See how you progressed. And again, with any good fitness program comes a good health and nutrition program. So make sure you visit us at www.macromachinecoaching.com, where you can see all of our many, many programs, see what's right for you. Book a one-on-one consultation. We'll walk you through the program. We'll see if we're right for you, you're right for us, and we'll give you, what we think the best option is for which program you should follow. Also, visit our supplement store on the website. If you scroll all the way down, you'll see a link that says supplement store, and you can get 25% off. So take advantage of it. Good luck, and I will see you next time.